Alright, class. I know A levels is around the corner.
我有一个方法，可以让你考到好成绩。
什么样的方法？
你只要和我交换你最珍贵的东西，奇迹啊，就会在你身上发生。
浩哥，浩哥，你听得到我吗？放我出去！
So in Japan, we went to a shop that is actually very mysterious also, I would say. The shop was quite cool because it has a lot of vintage items. So I think that's one of the inspiration that we got for the film.
When we left the shop, I was just saying, damn, what if this dude is like a serial killer? Isn't it intriguing that every items that you see at thrift shop all has a underlying story behind it?
When it comes to FYP, then we were supposed to write a script. Then I suddenly kind of thought of the shop, and then I thought of what she said. Then, of course, but we are not going for such dark direction. So I made it into something different, because make it into a dream shop that can help you achieve stuff. But because I want to be more specific with what the shopkeeper actually trades, then I decided on results. Because during that period of time, my friends, they were in JC, and they say they were really stressed out because of expectation and results. It just feels like it's never enough. They can never have their own time. Everything is just about studying. So that made me want to write something that is for the JC students.
So location scouting was, oh my god, it was so crazy because we have to go to various locations, and the fact that I need to come up with a whole list, and it's a specific list of where we're supposed to go instead of a general thing. So we only got the finalized location 3 weeks before shoot, and it's pretty crazy because our locations were really far. One was in Jurong, which was the shop, and one was in Bedok House, which was, it was 2 ends. And I only got the location at the last minute, and it's a miracle.
Location recce is quite fun, to be honest. I like location recce. It's quite fun. It's quite fun, quite stressful, but when you do it together as a team, it's quite fun. Going door to door.
The thrift shop is something that is definitely not done before. We could find references in real life or in movies, but it's definitely uniquely Singaporean and unique to the film.
We have created a concept of the shop, which is a thrift shop, also have full of unique stuffs and vintage stuff. So we have went around the whole Singapore to find a similar shop, and we have went to several locations such as Hock Siang Furniture, and then we went to Bukit Timah, the whole stretch of vintage shop.
I went to almost all the converters branches in Singapore, so you can hit me up on what place has what. There was this one carouseller who had an open house for their vintage items. So when I first went down to one of their locations, it was completely new experience for me because it was the first time that I saw someone's house be filled to the brim with antique items. So after telling my group mates about it, we actually went to their second location, which is at Jalan Bahagia, and we wanted this shop for our film. But in the end, we couldn't get it because of constraints. Casting was equally as crazy because we had to find so many different actors, and we have to audition a lot. We got some help from Hello Group as well, which is Mardina's intern company. So they eased my difficulties by giving me more talents. The people who got to audition, we get to see different kind of people and how they act and their personality. After we secured them, it was this rock has been shifted out of the way. Felt so light after that.
Lee Junwei is I think it's a boy filled with a lot of insecurities, and insecurities that a lot of students have, insecurities with their grades, feeling they're not doing enough to beat their friends, not doing enough to meet their own expectations, meet their own mother's expectations, and just to have that kind of self-worth. The whole story just shows him trying to turn to something else to satisfy this insecurity.
For Junwei,
I think the most difficult things to find was the things that I had to customize. One of them was this PE attire and Junwei's basketball jersey. It was actually quite a challenge to find a PE attire that I had to kind of find from scratch. So I found a shop that already had it in stock, which was a white dry fit shirt with like black details on the sleeves. And then I went to another t-shirt store that allowed me to print the Huan logo on top, which was designed by our dear Dina. At the start of the film, he's really tired, but he's working very hard for his test. He didn't get good grades. But the more he meets Huan, the more he gets influenced by Huan. He starts selling his things. The more he sells his things, the more his eye bags will show. So it gets darker and darker each time. That's, I think, one of the most important parts of Junwei's makeup.
As a teacher character for the mom, it kind of like explains why Junwei is like that, why he strives for the best, and why he might not be, why he's under so much stress. But we're not trying to put like shed a bad light on teacher, but we're trying to say that like sometimes as a teacher you might focus too much on the academics because that is what you are used to doing in school.
One of the reasons why we chose to make the mom the teacher is also because we wanted to emphasize more on Junwei's upbringing and how at different stage of his life he had different goals and his attitude was different towards his mom and things like that. The very idea that his mom is very strict but at the same time she's very nurturing is actually, I felt that it was relatable to a lot of parents out there, especially traditional parents.
我觉得素芳她是一个很传统的女性，首先她不是只是家庭主妇哦，那么她本身的职业是为教师教员，所以呢在家里就是整天就是有很多本子要要打分呐、这样子，有很多工作，老师都是这样子，都是很忙的，对吗？然后回来了就接到孩子，那么也希望做最好的菜，好好的照顾他。关心他，可是这样就像一般的母亲，大多数的母亲，在关心的当儿，其实不知道怎么样才是所谓的正确的关心，就是孩子会觉得说母亲给他压力，其实他没有啦，其实我觉得他就是尽他所能去保护孩子，希望孩子好，但是孩子通常都会误会的，因为爱而不懂得爱。比根本不爱更悲哀。
Huan，他是一个科幻的人物了，所以要演这个角色呢，除了说了解剧本之外，还是要靠一些想象。为什么他能活到这么久？他的目的就是要吸取那些年轻人的记忆。
So Huan is one of the major characters in the film where we really didn't know who and what he was at first. It was a character that we had to develop on as the story and the scripts progressed. And eventually we got like a very interesting Karanguni type uncle, but the major pieces of his wardrobe were unusual or they were very interesting, or at least eye-grabbing.
Magical realism is a genre that uses like the fantasy aspect to bring out, like for example, like social issues, which applies to our film, like bring out the pressure that Singaporean students feel from exams But I wanted to focus more on the drama aspect And I also feel like this film needed a lot of handheld camera to really show like the relationship between the audience and the character Junwei So like a lot of times when he's frustrated, I'll be handheld. And then also quite a lot of times when he's like in the fantasy world, it's handheld also to either give like nostalgic feeling or to show the audience that something is going wrong. Then for lighting, I would say like the green lighting is actually inspired by the Adam, the NTU film, because I saw one screenshot. Then it's like that green fluorescent tube, like a practical in the foreground, then like a red fluorescent tube in the background. Then I thought like, whoa, if this green color exists in real life, which like actually if you notice like a lot of old places, if their fluorescent tube is like old, then you have this green glow. Then I thought about it like, wow, actually this green quite nice. Then it actually like for me it became like Huan's color because power, greed, and evil. Yeah, then from there like the film sort of gets greener as you go through each act.
I think the most memorable experience, like usually for me, is the one where I go through the hardest things. And for this shoot, I've done something that I never done before, which is 3 consecutive overnight shoots. And that was quite crazy. I'll be like quite energetic, like, oh, overnight shoot very fun until 2 a.m. Then after I reach like 4 a.m, 5 a.m, right, I start falling asleep on the chair. Then the director talking to me, sorry. It's a very interesting experience, filming overnight. Very fun also. And like, you really feel that sense of accomplishment in the morning when it's 7 a.m. and you rap.
So on set, the most important people that you need to watch welfare for is your talent. And at that time, Ian had to be doing 3 overnight shoots back to back. It was very tiring. I can see the tired eyes and all that. So for our talent, every single shot I have to make sure either myself or my PA, they just feed them water. Whether they need to pee a lot of times, just feed them water, because water is really a source of energy for them to keep on moving. To be honest, I really was really thinking of what to get for the crew, because at overnight at 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, everyone's so sian, everyone's so tired. And I am the head of welfare, and to make sure everyone is still alive during that shoot, I need to make sure I get good food at least lah. Okay. I mean, I hope pizzas are good for the team. I hope it's good for you guys. I mean, I got nothing but pizzas at that time when I was like eating pizzas for 2 overnight shoots. And I'm glad that Ian, our main cast, ate 10 slices of pizza. I was like, okay, important, feed your talent.
On set, I will watch the playbacks with the director and to comment on the shots and also how to improve on the shots. Because when you are watching the mon, right, when you go back home, you have a better idea of what videos you already have. So it makes the editing process less slow. I would say it paces up my process faster as an editor. Sometimes I will stitch the shots together for the director to see if like it kind of works or not. Like on set wrangling and immediately view the shots.
这给你的。这是什么？
What's this? I want you to score well, so I got you this.
孔子啊，希望他能够在你的 A-level 助你一臂之力。
First of all, if you guys are wondering where did the Confucius statue situation come from,
Oh yeah.
we're just gonna get you to talk a little bit more.
Yeah,
about
so
it.
when everybody heard of the Confucius idea, they thought it was like out of the world. They're like, what kind of thing are you thinking in your head to come up with this Confucius idea? Until I say that, you know what, it's a true story. So my mom gave me but I wasn't like defensive as Junwei lah, because I mean I thought that it was really funny. Then it was something very different that like honestly I've never heard anyone done this before to their kids. Then she gave it to me.
All she wanted her to do after getting this is to score well for her
exams. Yes. So that inspired that part of the film. But because our main character Junwei, right, very passive aggressive and then very doubtful also. So he took it the wrong way. I'm not talking about you.
So when it came to building the shop in our Huan shop, there's actually one section which Eva mostly arranged.
We have wooden shelves, we have like more than 20 practical lights in the room and full of unique props.
Like, I think all the pawn shop scenes are nice, like really just because they are lit by practicals. I mean, I have a good camera with very high dynamic range, so exposure isn't a problem. But I really like when I have a light that is just placed there, and when the talent walks around the space, like giving their performance, like the light interacts with them. I don't need to purposely light for them. The middle scene to me is my favorite because he's actually just lit by a single practical and the ambience of the room, and the placement of the practical was there since the start, but it's actually like the blocking and Chinwei's like performance that really made the lighting shine up.
From how the idea was created at first, I was like really looking forward to how the tree shop would look like. And honestly, like it's very surprising because it actually turned out differently from how I thought it would be, but in a good way because everybody has a different concept of the tree shop. So it was very exciting when I first saw the tree shop. I thought like, wow, everyone's gonna be so impressed by this. Then I'm very happy to be in the set, you know, and then I'm like a proud mom looking at the script coming alive.
The only reason why it's unique is because it consists of items that belongs to each and every one of the team members. It kind of fits the idea of the film as well, the whole idea of, you know, trading in your precious item. So I'm happy that, you know, the shop turned out so well.
All of the art department's hard work went into that. So like we spent 3 days just to build up what is on screen.
The thrift shop is like a baby for the whole art team. Everybody was so satisfied with the outcome of the thrift shop. So everything happened in the shop is memorable.
One of the most memorable experience on set was the day where it suddenly rained very heavily. It almost killed all of our tech equipments and things like that.
I witnessed all of us, from the producers, from the production team, from the technical team, we all come together to save the equipment. Almost all of us get drenched because of the rain, but then even like the rain won't stop us from carrying this shoot. Yeah, so it shows the passion that we have for filmmaking.
I've always imagined the memory extraction room to be a place that is very cold. And then the items that are used by Huan is definitely the items that he collects. So it looks like it's very homemade. It should look like it's different, but at the same time it should have some elements from the main thrift shop itself. So that's why we have like those Chinese names on the VHS tapes and things like that.
It's just like the Huan's personality. He has a welcoming like look, but deepest part of his heart is evil. So to create the contrast, we have create the color of the Huan room into a colder tone, and more metallic stuff will be added in, more electronical stuff will be added in.
When Huan is like really evil, then I lead him the same way with a top-down light. Then he has like a kick from the side of like either tungsten or red. Yeah, then there was one shot which is very nice. It's like the low angle one. Wow, they're very evil. I think like that's my favorite like shot of the entire film.
说实在的，这样的片呢，我还是第一次拍呀。我觉得那些假的科技的东西也蛮好玩的。
For me, like I got my own set of vintage lenses lah, which add a lot to the story. So like if you look carefully, every fantasy scene is shot on vintage lenses. So I think that really helped bring out the fantasy aspect, because these lenses are very different from the Canon CNE primes. Like they're very old and they're very like, they cause a lot of workflow problems. But at the end of the day, the look, the character, the bokeh, all you cannot find in the Canon CNEs.
I would say that the whole memory sequence is actually my favorite part of the film, because it shot it in a way that is very nostalgic and very close to home. And it's also a segment in the film where you truly see the tender side of both the characters, where you truly empathize with them.
我最喜欢的其实是最后一场戏，就是那个和解了之后在海边拍的那场戏。那场戏没有什么话的，就是默默无语这样。可是那个尽在不言中，那个诗感非常的重，所以呢觉得很有意思。
Rough cut initially, my first cut was 42 minutes. We actually managed to like change up the scene a bit by taking off from the script. It's like by removing some parts from the script and stitching it back together. So it really involves a lot of creativity and like flexibility on doing like stuff like this. But the director is also beside me to advise me on how to rearrange the scenes. Even the lecturers also like advised me on that. So yeah, that one was, it was tiring lah to cut things down, but in the end we still made it. So I'm very like proud and very thankful about it.
很开心，因为跟你们这些年轻人在一起啊，你们都充满着活力，这个会感染到我这个老人家。导演都很细心的分析这个角色，还有这些工作人员都有耐心，对我也蛮尊重的，对年纪大的人都很尊重。我觉得这个是很难得的，这是我最感到欣慰的。
I'm very happy with the crew lah. Very thankful that despite all the long hours, tiring shoots, they were always there to like make sure that I was well taken care of.
其实我觉得这整个制作团队，觉得每个人都很有爱心呐、就是很有爱心的，就是要不要喝水啊，热不热啊，要不要纸巾啊，这种的，所以无微不至，你知道吗？对，所以我就觉得是很 nice，他们真的是很有爱心的年轻人。那么看到他们团队非常的和谐，非常的团结，互相帮忙，这也是很感动的一件事情。他们的热忱也深深的感动了我。希望他们好好努力，为我们新加坡的电影圈，就是能够增加更多的活力。耶、
To look back on the whole process of like more than a year, I think the whole thing just like super memorable to me. It's a meaningful experience for everybody to grow, to learn.
It's just been a long journey for all of us to bond together, to understand each other's difficulties, whether it be personal or whether it be team related.
But now, after finishing the project and seeing it on a screen, I feel proud. I feel so proud of my art team, the group.
At the end of the day, we might not be the most bonded team, but at the same time, we still go through this FRP journey together, and I'm very happy to go through it with you all.
Don't know why, but this film was quite important to me. That's what I strive for a lot, like visually.
If I were to do it again, I guess I'll give it a shot again. It's fun, like FYP, it really is. Just enjoy the process.
I can see that all of them are very passionate in doing their tasks.
This friendship that is formed during this project and all these lessons that I've learned, it will basically stick with me for the rest of my life as well. I enjoy FYP, I'm very proud of this film, and I'm very thankful for everybody's hard work that's put into this one.
No matter what happened, honestly, no matter what challenges you face with every member of the team, it's an experience, and I love everyone. I like everyone. It's a good team. It's a great team, and it's a great film. Yeah, so watch it, everyone.
这群年轻人，让我很实际的感受到，要梦想是很重要的。
Just don't miss the film. Just go watch it. That's all I can tell you.